Hello and welcome to 2 Minute Drill. I'm Michael Rochman. The first 3 rounds of the NFL draft have finished, but there are still some talented players on the board. So today we're going through my highest graded available player at each position with some other names to look out for. At quarterback, North Carolina's Sam Howell is my top option. Despite the struggles this season, Howell showed tremendous growth in terms of tools, and with a better offensive line this season, I truly believe he would have been long gone here on day 3 of the NFL draft. Other quarterbacks to keep an eye on are Carson Strong out of Nevada, a nice pocket passer with impressive downfield touch. Bailey Zappi, who turned in the most productive single season from a quarterback all time in college football. Caleb Ellaby, a dependable and gritty quarterback out of Western Michigan who flashes some potential. Skylar Thompson, a guy I think would be viewed higher, if not for the many injuries he dealt with in college. And Jack Cohn, Notre Dame's quarterback who flashed some nice consistency throughout his career. For the running back position, I like Pierre Strong Jr. out of South Dakota State. Strong has a knack for big plays and blazing speed to consistently make them happen. Watch out, because he might be the steal of the draft. Other running backs to keep an eye on here are Texas A&M's Isaiah Spiller, a well-rounded back who is a beast with the ball in his hands. Georgia's Zamir White, the power back of last year's main running duo. White should have plenty of teams interested in getting him early on day 3. Damian Pierce of Florida, a nicely built back who has gone underrated throughout the draft process. Florida State's Jashawn Corbin, a sleeper who hasn't gotten the national attention he deserves, but a human highlight reel for the Seminoles offense last year. And Kyron Williams of Notre Dame, arguably one of the most complete backs in the class, who should be a long-time asset in an NFL backfield. At wide receiver, Bo Melton of Rutgers seems like a great weapon in this class. A highly recruited player out of high school, Melton stayed home, and the passing game at Rutgers did him no favors. Still, he flashes big playability and should be a great pick for whoever gets him here on day 3. The next highest rated available receivers after him are Eric Ezekanwa from Texas Tech, a big-bodied athletic wideout with nice yards after catch ability. Boise State's Khalil Shakir, an inside-out guy who can produce all over the field. Calvin Austin III of Memphis. Despite his smaller frame, he's incredibly athletic and has large production. Jalen Naylor of Michigan State, a potential sleeper in this class with nice polish and deep ball ability, and Justin Ross from Clemson, a once thought to be first-round wide receiver who struggled with injuries throughout his career, but if he can bounce back, he could be a tremendous addition to a team's passing game. At tight end, I like Cade Otton of Washington. An asset as a blocker and receiver, Otton has gone under the radar due to a lackluster Washington passing attack, but he should be a nice get for whoever grabs him here on day 3. Other tight ends to keep an eye on are Chigozie Mukonkwo out of Maryland, a speedy and raw tight end with nice potential and receiving skills. Charlie Kohler out of Iowa State, a long-time dependable weapon for Brock Purdy. Kohler is a great value for whatever team selects him here on day 3. Wisconsin's Jake Ferguson, a balanced tight end who's a safe bet to stick around in the NFL for a long time. Jalen Weidermeyer of Texas A&M, a once thought to be tight end 1 in this class. Weidermeyer tanked his stock with poor testing, but could still be a good grab here late in the draft. And Daniel Bellinger from San Diego State, a good athlete with sneaky upside to round out this tight end group. Moving on to offensive line, I love Chris Paul out of Tulsa, a big but smooth moving lineman who could be a day 1 starter at guard with potential to be much more. Other linemen of note include Daniel Fatlele of Minnesota, the massive yet smooth tackle who has tremendous upside at the tackle spot. Kentucky's Darian Kennard, a big-bodied and physical lineman who fits right into a power blocking scheme. Louisiana's Max Mitchell, an impressive right tackle in a class that is lacking many enticing later-round options on the outside. Donovan West out of Arizona State, a quick-moving center with a nice frame to be scheme versatile. Wake Forest, Zach Tom, a versatile lineman with experience all over and toughness to thrive in any role. And as a bonus, we'll also add Georgia's Jamari Salyer, a dependable and key piece to the Bruising Bulldogs offensive line last season on their way to a championship. Now we flip over to the defense, and in the trenches, I like Matthew Butler of Tennessee, a well-rounded do-it-all lineman for the Volunteers who flashes anytime I watch the tape. As for other defensive linemen I like, there's Perrion Winfrey of Oklahoma, arguably the best interior pass rusher in this class with potential to contribute early in the NFL. Iowa State's Ioma Uwazurike, a 6'6", 316-pound defensive lineman who put up major pass rush production, but has the physicality to contribute in the run game as well. Texas A&M's Michael Clemens, a down lineman with nice physicality and burst to make an impact on the line. Otito Ogbanya of UCLA, a sturdy nose tackle who wears his weight extremely well and could be a great 4-3 defensive tackle. And Wisconsin's Matt Henningsen, a dependable, strong-anchored lineman with flashes of great potential. At the edge position, my top guy left is Jessie Lakita out of Penn State. More of a hybrid linebacker, Lakita is consistently finding his way to the football and should be a perfect fit for a multiple front defense. Other edge rushers you should keep an eye on include Kingsley Enagbare of South Carolina, a nicely framed and quality upside edge rusher with flashes of high-level play. Tyreek Smith out of Ohio State, a safe, dependable option at edge, perfect for a team looking to add depth on day 3. Miami of Ohio's Dominique Robinson. Despite his small school, Robinson has big-time traits that can be molded into a respectable NFL edge rusher. Coastal Carolina's Jeffrey Gunter, a versatile defender who plays with a high motor and a mean attitude. And Isaiah Thomas of Oklahoma, a strong lineman whose physicality and athleticism are intriguing at the edge position. For the linebacker position, my top remaining player is Darian Beavers out of Cincinnati. Beavers possesses a great frame with a background having experience both at safety and edge rusher. With that experience and his great run defense, he could be a very solid addition here on day 3. My other top remaining linebackers include JoJo Domann out of Nebraska, a smaller framed linebacker who flies around the field like he's magnetized to the football. Auburn's Jacoby McClain, another smaller linebacker who offers very good range and run defense with speed to help out a front seven. Penn State's Brandon Smith. With some ironed out tackling issues and more development, Smith has the upside to end up as the top linebacker from this class when looking back on it 5 years from now. Jack Sanborn of Wisconsin, a high motor linebacker who specializes in getting into the backfield. And Mike Rose of Iowa State, a nice frame, versatile defender who racked up tackles all over the defense for the Cyclones last season. At the cornerback spot, my top-rated option is Jalen Armour Davis out of Alabama. The standout one-year starter has the skill set and physicality to be special, and here on day 3, he'd be a great value pick for teams needing cornerback help. Also on the list is Baylor cornerback Kalen Barnes, a hyper-athletic corner who was a key piece to Baylor's tremendous turnaround season. Next up is Caleb Evans of Missouri, a wiry and lanky corner who's a perfect fit for his own heavy defense. Penn State's Tariq Castro Fields, a quality corner with versatility to be effective in any scheme. Cincinnati's Cody Bryant. Sauce is great, but Kobe Bryant deserves plenty of credit for contributing to the Bearcats' pass defense last season, as he was outstanding as well. And Zion McCollum of Sam Houston State, an incredibly athletic lower-level corner NFL teams will want to get their hands on in hopes of crafting him into a star cornerback. Now, I'm sure you're worried I snubbed someone, but do not fret, as my top safety prospect is UTSA's Tariq Woolen. Despite being a corner in college, I think Woolen has too much upside with his length, range, and athleticism not to be deployed in a more versatile role. Thus, I project him to be a free safety. The following safeties include Smoke Monday out of Auburn. The physical and intelligent Monday is an exciting safety prospect perfect for teams looking to add a versatile defensive back here on day 3. Georgia Tech's Tariq Carpenter. Carpenter has a great size with experience at corner in college. To me, he has plenty of traits to be the next Swiss Army knife safety success story. Isaiah Pola-Mao of USC, a late recognition guy in this class. Pola-Mao is a big-bodied safety with the instincts and physicality to play both safety spots and play them well. Marquise Bell out of Florida A&M. Bell has some room to grow, but he's a smooth mover with exciting potential that jumps out on tape. And Verone McKinley III out of Oregon. McKinley had a disappointing 40, but he's flashed numerous moments of great processing and ball skills to be a nice depth free safety at the very least. Now, I've been getting requests on top specialists in this class, and I just want to say that only sickos would take the time to evaluate kickers or punters, which is exactly why I have some rankings for you. My top 3 kickers goes as follows. Cade York of LSU, Gabe Burkich of Oklahoma, and Cameron Dicker of Texas. At punter, my top 3 is Matt Ariza of San Diego State, Jake Camarda of Georgia, and then Jordan Stout of Penn State. And that's the 2-minute drill.